institutional adoption. Let's catch him for more.
I think it's an important milestone because when you get to the 6-figure level, I think it sends the message to people that Bitcoin is here to stay. I think there's been multiple stages of Bitcoin, right? There were the early years when it wasn't clear what it was or whether it would survive. Then there were the block size war years when there was a big fight over the identity of Bitcoin and what was Bitcoin and what wasn't Bitcoin. And then I think from 2020 to 2024, I would say those were the crazy years, but there was the big question was, is Bitcoin an institutional grade asset? Will it be embraced by governments, by corporations, by institutions, by traditional capital?
Blue Chip Crypto 3. Now, welcome on into another episode of Blue Chip Crypto 3. And today we're going to discuss Michael Saylor and the Bitcoin prediction for 2025. Now, Bitcoin is currently at $100,000. I think that Michael Saylor is correct. If it's either going to go down or go up, but I got it going up because the institution like BlackRock, Grayscale, you have a lot of big hedge funds company that actually run the money market, right? That's actually supporting this now. So why would they support something that's going to go to zero? I don't think so. Let me repeat. I don't think so. I think that it's probably going to hit $1 million this year because 10% of $1 million is just $100,000. So we're 10% on the way there. We're not saying that it's going to skyrocket there tomorrow morning. This not financial advice, but it's something that you should have in your crypto journey, right? Let's continue.
Markets. And there was back and forth, and there was a lot of skepticism. And, some people said it's too good to be true. Some people said it's so good they'll ban it. Some people said, well, there'll be a little bit, but it won't be much. And then there's a big fight over, is it a currency or is it capital? And I think that since November 5th, right, we've seen kind of a surge from like 68, 67, all the way through 100. I think the answer that's been questioned, the question that's been answered is Bitcoin here to stay? Is it an institutional grade asset? Will it be embraced by the wealth and the power of the world? And I think busting through 100,000 is a numeric punctuation to the emphatic answer to that question, which is yes.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is navigating a turbulent phase, trading in a mid-range zone as long-term holders continue to offload their holdings, reshaping market dynamics. Recent data indicates a notable shift in BTC ownership, with profit-taking activities by long-term holders increasing. This trend has created bid-ask imbalances, where selling pressure has gained the upper hand, potentially paving the way for a downturn. Bitcoin's profitability has also diminished following recent corrections, leaving its gains at 19.86% as skepticism lingers about the sustainability of its modest 0.37% price increase. Glassnode data highlights that long-term Bitcoin holders, those retaining the asset for over 6 months, are increasingly liquidating their positions. While ultra-long-term holders, who have held BTC for over 7 years, remain largely inactive, the proportion of BTC held by this cohort has dropped significantly, from over 60% to approximately 50%. This redistribution of
Now, I think for as long, because the long-term holders, it's like once you do your hours, right? Once you actually look it up, you actually do your 100 hours, your 200 hours, you study money, you study what people get up for, what people do unethical things for, why. You study the financial system, you study inflation, you study the debasement of the currency, you study hyperinflation, you study debt, you study these financial instruments, you will understand that this technology is actually made to supersede, and it allows you to build on top. See, that's the beautiful thing that I like about it, right? And not only that, it's a lot of other blockchains that actually solves the problem that Bitcoin has. Bitcoin has a transfer per second problem, TPS, right? Transactions per second. And it takes a while for the Bitcoin to come. So people would think, hey, is Bitcoin going against the US dollar? No, it's going against gold, right? The US dollar is going to be the US dollar, but then you have something called XRP, right? They have something that's coming out called RLUSD, and it's going to be equivalent to the US dollar. So I'm saying it all to say technology is here. Have no fear. Let's continue. And you no longer need the middleman and or you no longer need the bank. But let's continue.
BTC ownership empowers short-term holders, whose influence grows even as the market remains in its early stages. A deeper analysis reveals that long-term holders across various cohorts, from 1 to 2 years to 3 to 5 years, are reducing their stakes. This is especially evident in the 3 to 5 year cohort, which has decreased its holdings from a peak of 15.3% to 13.9%. Such sell-offs, coupled with declining interest from long-term investors, indicate a potential weakening of Bitcoin's support levels. Unlike previous market cycles, the emergence of Bitcoin spot ETF has added complexity to the market. Institutional investors, once aggressive accumulators, are now selling their holdings, reducing their market share from 25% to 16%. Concurrently, bid imbalances highlight a low demand for Bitcoin.
$453,000 in a single month as an
Now, that's just for right now. Even if the institution is selling, they plan on buying again because they're just going to transfer their money into altcoins, right? To then load up back on Bitcoin. This is just how the story goes. I've been in this market for, let's just say I've been in this market for 7 years, right? I like money. I study money. I see where it's going. I'm telling you that this is probably the only chance in your lifetime that you get to literally own your own money. Normally you work for your money, right? No one owns the money. This is the first time in your life that you begin to own the money that you're actually working for. We're done with the legacy system. We're done with the traditional banking system. That's why all banking now is online, right? That's over with. You no longer need to you no longer need to even walk into a bank anymore. All you need is a sender and a receiver. Now we're done with the legacy system, and now we're on the actual, what do they call it? They call it the quantum blockchain system, meaning that you can do so many things on the blockchains, from paying your rent, from paying your mortgage, from creating an app, from paying your light bill. You can do so many different things. The reason being is that it's different use cases, right? And all of these things is being tracked on the blockchain. So when you're looking for a receipt, you will always have a receipt. It's paperless, right? It's in the clouds. It's in the computer. Now, when you have your phone, instead of you pulling out your credit card, you just simply pull out your cash wallet. You're already doing it now without you noticing it, right? You have something called Apple Pay, PayPal. All of these things, right, are without credit cards. So they're leading you into these things, whether you like it or not, right? First, they give you the beta version of it, which is what we currently have right now. Then you're going to be able to own your own money, own your own ledger, lend your own money out for other people to borrow, get paid interest. You are the bank now. You no longer need the bank. But let's continue.
Which has created additional downward pressure on its price. Heblock data shows a 50% bid imbalance within a small percentage of the order book, signaling a sell-dominated phase. At the same time, CryptoQuant reports an increase in exchange net flow, with over 22,000 BTC deposited recently, further amplifying the available supply. While the market faces heightened selling pressure, the possibility of a rally persists, contingent on whether remaining long-term holders decide to hold out for higher prices. However, for now, low demand and rising supply suggest Bitcoin is poised for more challenging times ahead.
Yeah, I think we crawled out of the valley of the crypto winter, and we crawled, recovered back into the 30s or the 40s, and then I think we got into 2024, and I think in 2024, we started with some cautious optimism, Bitcoin grinding up, a lot of questions about the rest of the digital assets economy, but Bitcoin, recovering from the bottom on its own without help from anybody. And then we got the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs. And then we had the halving. And the consequences of the halving were a number of things. One, there was a big secular rotation of capital from a bunch of Bitcoin miners to MicroStrategy. The options market in Bitcoin moved from the miners to MicroStrategy. So all of a sudden, MicroStrategy emerged as, a leading volatility, liquidity trade in the crypto ecosystem. And we became aware of that. And I think the second thing is 450 Bitcoin a day, which is $45 million a day of selling, got taken out of the market. And so the supply tightened, or the natural supply tightened. The market matured. The ETFs legitimized the asset class. And we went into the summer. And it was a big summer. The summer where the Trump campaign, first of all, caught a huge amount of electricity in the greater political economy. And then Trump embraced Bitcoin and embraced crypto, and the crypto community and the Bitcoin community embraced Trump. That took us into the November 5th elections. And two things kind of happened around that time frame. On October 30th, MicroStrategy announced our 2121 plan. We had basically gone and done one convert, a second convert, a third convert, a fourth convert, and a few $1 billion of ATM issuance. So we had raised quite a bit of capital, but we were doing it piecemeal, quarter by quarter, and we decided it was time for us to be more strategic. So we announced a $21 billion equity shelf registration and a $21 billion fixed income plan over 3 years. That was the biggest equity shelf registration in the history of capital markets. So no one ever sold $21 billion of equity like that, ever, right? And that kind of flies past some people, because it's like, what I'm saying is, like, out of every company, ever.
Right.
Never done before.
The Bitcoin demand and the Bitcoin company did it.
Yeah, one Bitcoin company did it. And of course, we did it because we have the world's best use of proceeds, right? The first time in human history, you have a commodity that returns higher than the S&P with higher volatility than the S&P. So you have 60 vol, 60 ARR on Bitcoin going for many years versus 15 for the S&P. Now you had a commodity, high vol, high performance. You can put 100% of your balance sheet. Well, that means in theory, you can issue infinite equity, right? I mean, as long as you can return more than the S&P. Every other commodity, I mean, real estate, art, gold, it's 10 vol, 10 ARR, 7 vol, 7 ARR, 5. So everything other than Bitcoin was always less than the cost of capital. MicroStrategy, we kind of discovered a crypto reactor that could be fueled by Bitcoin, and we put a crypto reactor in the middle of our company. It's kind of like turning on a nuclear reactor or putting an internal combustion engine in a horseless carriage. And that's what we learned in 2024. And we came in October 30th and we said, this is what we're going to do. And that was very well received by the capital markets. That was a big success.
Yeah.
Dogecoin's recent consolidation has sparked optimism about a potential rally to $0.50, especially as overbought conditions have cooled down.
Y'all gotta understand that with Dogecoin, right? This is a sleeping giant as well, because if Elon make this a use case and use his SpaceX satellites, this speculation SpaceX satellites, and use it for his nodes, this will skyrocket. Also, it has 160x, which means that if you would have put $1,000 into it, you would have made $160,000 just off $1,000 investment. Saying it all to say, right? Saying it all to say this had more growth than actual Bitcoin itself. So watch out for these altcoins, some of these altcoins. I'm not telling you to hold them. You can convert them to, I look at Bitcoin as gold and I look at XRP as oil. So those are going to be, an Ethereum too, as Ethereum would be considered silver. So gold will be Bitcoin. This is the digital realm. We're talking about digital realm technology, right? Gold will be Bitcoin. Silver will be Ethereum. And silver is sitting at about 4,000 right now. And then you also have XRP, which is the sleeping giant as well. That's just sitting at $2 and some change, right? Mine to tell you, Bitcoin was $2 and some change before. Ethereum was $2 and some change before. Now the same thing that was $2 and some change before is worth 100,000, right? While the other one is worth 4,000. So all I'm saying is that these numbers can get ridiculous. XRP can go all the way up from $10 to $10,000 each coin, right? That's all I'm saying. In fact, you really don't know because it don't even go off a market cap. I'm saying it all to say, right? Crypto is here to stay. We have the regulations on our side. It's 2025. Trump is in office. Elon's his sidekick as well. So I got something coming good for Doge as well too. So just watch it.
After a 208% breakout in early November, Doge has fluctuated within a range of $0.35 to $0.48, reflecting a period of consolidation. A recent correction pushed Doge below an ascending trend line, signaling a possible bearish shift. However, technical indicators suggest that an uptrend may soon resume. A key signal comes from the Relative Strength Index, RSI, which has reset from its overbought levels. Historically, when Doge's RSI eased back to 50, such as in March 2024, significant bullish momentum followed. Data analytics from Sentiment also point to a bullish outlook, highlighting a 31% drop in Dogecoin's mean dollar invested over the past 8 weeks, signaling renewed circulation of dormant coins. Although Doge may dip to $0.32, $0.34 to collect liquidity, a strong breakout above $0.50 could occur imminently. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Saylor. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis.
Now, let me know what you guys think about this. Just giving a quick update. On the Bitcoin. Just giving a quick update on the Bitcoin. Let me know what you guys think about this. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Let's go.